Yeah, so I saw The Deer King in theaters last week. It was a limited release in the US from G Kids, anime film that had come out earlier in the year in Japan. Came out, I believe, in February in Japan, and then has sprinkled out throughout the world since then and got a, like I said, a small release in the US. And this is a anime film based on a book series directorial debut from Masashi Ando, who is well known as the animation director for anime classics such as Spirited Away and Your Name. But this is actually his directorial debut, and many other people on the creative team for The Deer King are also Studio Ghibli veterans. So a bit of pedigree coming into this movie, and I had had it on the radar for some time. Been waiting for it to finally get a release date, and I think if you see the images or you see the trailer, there will be a bit of familiarity to it, which makes sense for people coming from the Studio Ghibli world. The animation style is quite familiar. And if you watch the movie thematically, plot wise, there is also a bit in common with such Ghibli classics as Princess Mononoke. Now, that is both a good thing and a bad thing, because I think where The Deer King falters a bit, it's because it feels a bit derivative of something that came before that is inherently greater than it. In this
Hmm.
case, Princess Mononoke, which is obviously one of the greatest anime films of all time. People know this by now. So, I think I enjoyed the film, even though like you can clearly see that it's a bit uneven because it has so many like intriguing parts to it. I mentioned the animation just engaging and makes you feel familiar with the Ghibli classics, but like you're just immediately thrown into this rich world with like heavy lore, and apart from some expository dialogue, you're just kind of thrown into it and you just kind of have to pick it up as you go. And that's all really, I think, really compelling. And in this case, we're in this this faraway kingdom, and next thing you know, we're picking up on this political undercurrent. These two kingdoms, Aquafa and Zol's, all kind of governs over this other kingdom, Aquafa. And then we learn that there's this mysterious disease called the Mitsuol, and that disease seems to only affect the people of Zol, the uh,
Hmm.
the conquerors, and those people think it's like the curse that the Aqua people have put on them. So there's kind of political undertones going on here, and we get introduced to this doctor character who is kind of like the champion of science, but he has to fight back against this like spiritual belief going on in the capital, and that's all like really, I think, really compelling because again you're just kind of thrown into this world that clearly has like rich lore and like history. Like it just feels like you're in a real
Hmm.
place, and I think where the movie falters is because our lead protagonist Van, he mysteriously doesn't get sick. He actually gets powers when he gets the disease. And the doctor is like, huh, we're going to use him to make a vaccine. That's literally what his job. And like, he's like, revolutionary because he wants to try and actually make this vaccine. Like he's kind of figures it out over time that they should use this guy's blood to make antibodies. And it's like, there's actually like a really like unintentionally prescient, like scientific, like storyline going on in the Deer King. However, I think where the movie falters a bit is we start to get into this more the conflict of the movie. I think like it just gets a bit muddled, and like it starts to get very derivative in terms of its mysticism and like treatment of nature, and like he just really starts to give you Mononoke vibes. Like the guy in both movies, they ride on deer. Um, in both
Wow.
movies, like they have like very similar powers. Like there's just some obvious parallels going on, and they also, of course, have the same animation style. So, and
Yeah.
I think for the Deer King too, like it's a bit of underwhelming ending. The movie kind of ends in a flat way, but there were so many appealing parts to it that I feel like the bones of something really cool in the anime world were here, and it doesn't quite come together. But I think if you're an anime fan, there's certainly things to like about this, and even just like seeing something that's this is a derivative work of Princess Mononoke, still kind of enjoyable at times. It's not all bad.
Hmm.
So I think if you're into anime, it's definitely worth a watch, but definitely fell a bit short of what I was hoping for because I feel like the marketing made it really seem like like had potential to like stand out as
Be
like
a
a
great
really awesome. It's not quite that, but there's still things to like about it.